Tonight on KGW News, water spouts descend off the Oregon coast. Just the latest in 48 hours of wild weather. Plus,
I thought it was legal, so I was just standing there kind of mind my own business smoking.
but could doing drugs in public soon be another hazy memory? How Portland's mayor has a plan. And call the non-emergency line, get an operator that's not a real person. Why the Rose City is now testing out AI. And later,
Ocean Gate Expeditions offers you the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
it's the Washington company that takes the Intrepid up close to the Titanic. And now its tiny sub and all on board have suddenly disappeared. Good evening. At first tonight, we are less than 36 hours from the official start of summer, and our weather over the last day or so, well, it's been anything but sunshine and blue skies. In just the last 24 hours, we have seen a tornado, a handful of water spouts up and down the coast. Plus, there has been street flooding, hail with an added bonus in the mountains in the form of some heavy snow. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko, along with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, the calendar says June. I am almost afraid to ask here, when's it going to settle down?
It will settle down tonight and into tomorrow. If you're hoping for more summer-like conditions and late June conditions, David, you just have to wait until the middle part of this week. Now, here's a live look now. We're looking at a temperature of 53 degrees. Yesterday, though, we saw an EF0 tornado near Harrisburg in the Eugene area. There was no reports of damage or injuries, but the National Weather Service says wind speeds topped out at 65 miles an hour. Now, that's considered a weak tornado. Over the last 2 days, there have been several water spouts, too. This one over the Columbia Sunday. Then today, there were 5 water spouts in the Pacific Ocean near Cannon Beach and Rockaway Beach. They were up anywhere from about 10 to 20 minutes, according to witnesses. Now, I spoke with one witness who told me he thought they were about 10 miles offshore. Gianni Pulinoni says he was having breakfast with his family and they were completely caught off guard.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, nothing that I've ever seen before, for sure. And I didn't expect to ever experience it. We saw a fishing boat out in the water, just going as fast as they could away from it.
Yeah, great advice if you ever come across a water spout or funnel cloud or, of course, any tornado. Then around 3 o'clock this afternoon, just south of Salem, we saw another funnel cloud near Interstate 5. Now, that brings the total to about 7 over the last 24 hours. Now, this is the time of year when we transition from colder to warmer temperatures. So it's not uncommon to see these types of weather events, but it's still rare to see this many in a 24-hour period. Rod Hill and I were talking about this earlier today, and he said that the Northwest has been seeing an increase in tornadoes. We average at least an EF0 a year, and that's been kind of the trend over the last about 5 to 10 years or so. But here is a look what we saw a couple of hours ago, or I should say several hours ago. This is the funnel cloud that was spotted near Salem. Then again, another storm report near the Newburgh-Dundee area where you're seeing heavy rain. A lot of us saw heavy rain this afternoon and at times throughout the evening hours as well. But as we take a live look now from the radar, we are starting to see those showers taper off. But again, still seeing a little bit of some snow showers, David, and it's not uncommon to see snow showers this time of year, but again, to see as much as we have and to see much active weather as we have has been interesting to say the least. But things will start to feel a little bit normal heading into the middle part of the week. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
I think we are all looking forward to that. Thank you, Joe. If you have any photos of the wild weather, maybe the rainbow we spotted over the Willamette this evening, you know what? We want to see them. It's easy to share. Just download the KGW News app, then click on Near Me in the bottom right-hand corner. Then you can directly upload pictures or videos and see them pop up on our interactive map. You know what? We always appreciate you sharing and love to feature them right here on KGW News. Well, new at 11, it's a look at the possible future of Portland's emergency response system, and it turns out it involves artificial intelligence. This week, the city of Portland will begin testing a form of AI while handling its non-emergency calls. Catherine Cook shows us what is driving this change and how it's going to work.
911.
Emergency dispatch teams in Portland are busy and understaffed. That's according to Portland's Bureau of Emergency Communications, or BOEC. They say call volume has grown every year since 2011, nearly a 28% increase overall. They're considering several proposals to alleviate the influx.
But what I envision are 2 numbers for the community, 911 for emergencies and 311 for everything else.
Last week, city leaders held a public safety call allocation work session. It's part of an ongoing effort to decrease call wait times. BOEC Director Bob Causey said starting this week, they'll be testing artificial intelligence when answering non-emergency calls. They're using a system called Case Service Reporting and plan to turn it on a couple hours a day.
Where a automated attendant will answer the phone on non-emergency, and based on the answers, using artificial intelligence, and that's kind of a scary word for us at times, but using artificial intelligence will determine if that caller needs to speak to an actual call taker, or if they can get that referral information directly and transfer the caller to 311.
Causey says assuming the testing goes well, he'll determine if AI is a possible option for 311 callers. Right now, 311 gives community members access to local government programs and services. The city is considering the idea of using it for all non-emergency response calls.
Where the caller then calls 311, they get that AI attendant, and it's smart enough to know, okay, I'm going to transfer you to BOEC, or I'm going to transfer you to 311, or provide the information that you need right now.
The system can even text information to callers, including connecting them to various websites for web reporting. For his part, the city's Community Safety Transition Director says something must be done to manage growing call volume before it overwhelms the city's emergency response bureaus.
A day doesn't go by where we don't see a press release from somebody that says we couldn't make the call, we couldn't get someone there because we're just too busy. And staffing alone will not do it.
A study commissioned by the City of Portland found that directing all non-emergency calls to 311 could reduce BOEC's call volume by 180,000 calls, or nearly 17%. But the city indicated they're a long way from doing that. Right now, 311 only operates Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. David?
Yeah, call it a sign of the times. I know you're going to be watching it very, very closely. Thank you, Catherine. Nearly 2,000 Providence nurses are now on strike. They walked off the job this morning calling for higher wages, more time off, and better health care. The strike only involves nurses at Providence Portland, Providence Seaside, and Providence Home Health and Hospice. The hospital brought in replacement workers, moved some patients to other hospitals, and canceled some procedures to cover 5 days with nurses on the picket lines.
This is a challenging time for them, for our nurses, for our community, and for all of us. So it'll be important that as this strike concludes, that we come back to the table, are able to negotiate a fair contract, and really move into healing and reconciliation.
We're the face of the company, and we're the ones that provide everything. So when we say there's something wrong, it shouldn't go in one ear and out the other. It should be listened to. Like, there's a problem, this is the problem, let's brainstorm solutions, and let's make it happen.
Providence officials say their offer to nurses included 30 additional hours of PTO over 3 years, as well as a 12% raise in the first year of a contract and additional 3% raises in the following 2 years. Administrators declined to continue negotiations during the strike, but officials say they're looking to schedule sessions once this is over. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, Legacy has once again set a reopening date for Mount Hood's Birthing Center. It's now set to welcome patients back on Wednesday. The Birthing Center in Gresham closed in March, you might remember, without getting state approval. Administrators cited staffing challenges and a lower number of births at the center. The community pushed back, and after several months and a couple of different reopening dates, Legacy says the center will now be staffed around the clock. Umpqua Bank has confirmed it was impacted by a global cyber attack that also hit the Oregon DMV. So far, the Portland-based bank says there's no indication any customer data has been compromised, though its investigation is ongoing. Last week, state officials said the personal information of roughly 3.5 million Oregonians who hold driver's licenses or ID cards may have been hacked. Officials say cyber criminals exploited a vulnerability in a popular file transfer program. And take a look at this tight spot in Cornelius. Firefighters say a teenager found a cave-like opening in the ground and, as teenagers do, wanted to explore. He ended up trapped underground and wedged in the hole. Fire crews worked to pull him out safely. They say he was not injured. Wow. Well, now we'll follow up on the shooting at the Gorge Amphitheater. We're hearing for the first time tonight from one of the concert goers who was in the campground where 2 people were shot and killed. Jason Warren was with friends at the Beyond Wonderland Electronic Dance Music Festival. When they headed back to their campsite Saturday evening, he says he heard a couple of shots. Now listen as he describes first hearing a man screams, then watching a security guard roll up in a golf cart.
You just killed my girlfriend. And he just like started screaming, "Why? Help me. What are you doing? Why would you do this?" At least 3 or 4 more shots he fired at the golf cart. You know, we ran as fast as we could. I didn't stop until I got to the entrance of Section H.
Warren thinks there needs to be more security. He said security at this event was the worst he has seen, saying no one inspected their vehicle. So far, the organizer of this event, Live Nation, has not responded to requests for comment. Back in Portland, a big shift could be coming to the rules around hard drug use. Under Oregon's Measure 110, simple possession and use are essentially permitted in most public places. But now Portland's mayor wants to change that. Ted Wheeler is considering outlawing hard drug use in public. We expect him to release a plan later this week with some of those details. Now, currently under 110, which voters passed in 2020, using certain amounts of hard drugs like fentanyl is not a criminal offense. Instead, police give out $100 citations and a number to call for treatment, though police tell us both are often ignored.
Generally, people are like, thanks, but no thanks. Quite a few times people will just throw the citation away right in front of us.
People are out here doing this stuff, there's a reason. And I mean, it's a cry for help.
Yeah, they need to go to jail or rehab. Either way, they have to because they're going to die.
Well, it is unclear if the mayor's forthcoming move could face court challenges or problems with enforcement, but he is not the only local leader pushing for a change. Clackamas County commissioners have also considered asking voters come November if they would overturn Measure 110. We'll update you on the details as the mayor's plan is made public.